It's just taking place in the outside circle. Is where it commenced now, so we're a few minutes early. So that's the completion of the third order circle.
Good morning and welcome to the National Centre for Bowling at Ayr Northfield for Day 2 of the 2025 Fair Scotland National Championship. If the umpires have checked and passed your bowls, you may now commence your trial end. Best wishes to all players and teams on their journey to becoming national champions.
Christine.
Oh, thanks. Steve.
All the best, Kate.
A glimpse of Ayr Beach, just 2 miles from where we are, and it's a very good morning and welcome back to live coverage of the 2025 Bowls Scotland National Championships from the National Centre of Bowling in Ayr. It's day 2 of 8 and we've another 3 live matches coming up for you on the Bowls Scotland YouTube channel and Facebook page. And of course you can enjoy live coverage from the 2025 Bowls Scotland National Championships every day this week, culminating in the gents and ladies singles finals on Saturday. Well, without further ado, let's have a look at the 3 matches we've got for you coming up today. So getting underway in just a few moments' time, Pauline Wilson of Willowbank will take on Christine Tennant of New Abbey. A fantastic match to get things started in the over 55s first round. Then just after midday it's Robert Grant of Overton and Waterloo against Jim Byron of Cooper. And of course we'll await news of who will be contesting the youth pairs semi-final. We'll hear a little bit later on this morning or into the early hours of this afternoon who will be taking part in that game, which that match which gets underway at 4 p.m. Well, I'm delighted to say that alongside me is Colin Noon once again. Colin, you're in position and you're watching the ladies over 55 singles, Willowbank, New Abbey, of course the 50th anniversary of the New Abbey Bowling Club, and that is certainly not, that significance not lost on Christine Tennant today, but 2 fantastic players, and we're in for a potentially a fantastic opening match today.
Yeah, for sure. Good morning, Stuart. Good morning, everyone. I think we've got 3 cracking matches coming up today, starting with this ladies over 55 singles first round, followed by, of course, the gents over 55 singles. 4 players there who know these Northfield greens very, very well and have incredible track records. And of course we'll follow that with the youth pairs. We saw some exciting play yesterday from the youths, and I think at the point that we get to semi-finals, I think we're in for a treat this afternoon.
Both players just judging the rink with forehand and backhand shots as they just establish technique and approach for a match which will get underway in just a few moments' time. And not surprisingly, both players electing to wear waterproofs because the conditions hardly ideal. Spectators continuing to make their way into the seated area around the rink. Certainly I think it's rink 1 these ladies will play on. Handshakes all round there as the marker takes position and the ladies come into the foreground of the picture.
Yeah, the conditions aren't ideal, Stuart, but I think both players will adapt quickly. it's typical Scottish weather, isn't it? You know, if it's sunshine, then it's not raining yet, and they'll be very, very used to playing in these conditions, and they'll adapt very quickly, I'm sure.
And of course, there's no stranger either of them to playing here in this championship. I mean, remarkable stories, both these players, when you consider that Pauline has represented Wales and Scotland at Commonwealth Games level, and Christine herself has enjoyed a lot of success and is wanting to add to that, as we mentioned, with New Abbey celebrating its 50th anniversary this year.
Yeah, both players have got amazing track records, and as you say, super stories. You know, previous winners of events here, you know, from national champions here up to Commonwealth gold medalists. So I think I hope we're not building this up too much, but I think this could be a cracking opener for us today.
Pauline then playing her second shot down. They play just in front of the jack. And Christine, both players will have dry towels to hand given the conditions, because the green will absorb a fair amount of water already, I would imagine.
The weather's not been great here overnight, so there will be a difference in pace for sure from yesterday. Not surprised to see both ladies opening down their respective forehands on this rink. I think compared to yesterday, this is what I'd call maybe a much more forgiving rink with 4 very, very playable hands.
And both Pauline there and Christine Pryor, a picture of concentration, their expressions on their faces as they watch their bowls just making their way down. Christine following the latest shot. Pauline then just into position. In it comes, and just clipping the very edge of Christine's ball just to the top left hand side. Colin, then your observations on the opening end for both players, because they'll know that just that little bit more now about the rink.
Yeah, I think you know, Christine's no stranger to these greens. She's played them, you know, at national championships, and you know, she's a regular visitor to the Air tournament here, so she will have knowledge of this rink, I am absolutely certain. And I wasn't shocked to see them both open on the inside hand there. It's quite forgiving. And you can see by the grouping of the bowls that there's definitely lines to be had there. So we'll see where they open here.
Christine then opening with a single shot. Again going with backhand round and down. She was short a couple of times in the first end, but that just sitting behind the jack. Can hear just in the microphones in the background that the wind perhaps is beginning just to pick up just a little bit as well.
excellent delivery from Christine.
Yes, in the relatively early stages of this match, certainly Christine's latest shot the best so far. Pauline taking a slightly different line to try and tuck in just at the back there.
She won't be unhappy with that, because any contact on the blue now, she's got a ball in a good receiving position. And already you can see Christine taking a much wider line to the jack than Pauline.
Perfectly smooth execution. And once again just drifting in our picture there to the left of the jack. Christine sitting nicely at the moment.
She just needs to be slightly cautious here that she doesn't crack an egg on this herself. I don't think she'll be too unhappy with that, because if once Pauline comes and has a look, there may have been an opportunity down the ditch side. But I think that last ball takes that opportunity away from her.
Of course, a very different picture for both players when they walk down to the head just to examine from the opposite end.
Yeah, it's important to do that. Visualising the shot is really important to do in the game.
And if your first two deliveries are on the money, then it just puts that little bit more pressure on your opponent.
Yeah, your first two balls are critical in singles. If you win the battle of the first two balls, then you'll set yourself up very well, and you more often than not would go on to win.
Again, a sort of shallower line, and it's certainly been pretty consistent, if nothing else, as she makes her way down.
Two conceded.
Christine then a steady start, and I'd imagine there'll be great interest from both Willowbank and the new Abbey respective clubs, as Christine 3 shots to the good on the scoreboard in the early stages of a rather soggy day 2 here in Ayr.
She'll be happy with that start. She's had a very solid first end. She's put one on top of it at the second, and it's nice just in these games to settle down early and get into a rhythm of line and length.
And she'll be quite happy to dictate distance of jack length, as again the towel comes into use. A forehand just short this time to begin. This third end. Pauline going much wider on that particular forehand. She was quite shallow with her backhands in the previous end.
Yeah, I think this is where you see the difference in the bowls, Stuart. You can see Christine's getting much more action off that side with her bowl, much smoother finish. Colin's just picked that high line again.
Would you have wanted just that little bit more pace to sit a little closer and further back from the jack?
think she'll be quite happy with a good second at the moment. She maybe gives herself a chance on the backhand side. Christine just missed the line. Better effort. Slightly unlucky, but she's maybe set something up. Christine sticking with the forehand side. So Pauline's play here will be to play between the front two balls to try and promote the red one, and if she can get a good contact on it, then she'll put the red onto the blue and make a couple of shots just on the wide side. Great try though.
Yeah, that was a good effort as both players make their way down to take a closer look. 10 minutes played, and Christine starting with now a 3 shot advantage. Taking the extra 4 shots then. Still very early days, but Pauline will clearly look to get shots on the scoreboard sooner rather than later, just to try and alter proceedings.
Yeah, that's right. She's not uncomfortable, I don't think, on the rink. I think she's playing well enough. Christine's just got her nose in front and getting that first ball in. Playing short to medium length jacks in both directions. I'm sure if Pauline gets a hold of the jack, then she will alter that length.
Christine, who's made at least 12 appearances at the Scottish Championships, and again Pauline herself no strangers to playing at this level, and it's already a high quality opening to this Sunday morning.
Pauline just overplaying that, but finding pretty good lines. So the door still very much open for Pauline to draw the shot here, but she is 3 down.
Picking a slightly tighter line, and look at that. Arguably the best shot Pauline has played so far today.
Definitely, but Christine has a chance here. If she has enough weight, she'll hold. She's gone now. Maybe needed to be a bit more aggressive with that. The ball was being played away for 2 or 3. The jack was a good result for her too. Pauline picking that straight line again. Just needs to be cautious. But she'll be happy to get on the card.
Yeah, to pick up that shot.
Dictate the length now.
Pauline then with a shot on the scoreboard. Christine leading 4-1. A quiet start to proceedings this Sunday morning. How much do you think the weather dictates the crowd, the audience? And it's early stages on a Sunday. There'll be specific times and specific days where you'll clearly get an increased crowd due to sort of wider interest.
I think look, I think if you're planning to come here, the weather's not really going to put you off. I think if you're local and you wake up and it was something to do on a Sunday, then you might think twice. But I think if you're planning to come here and you're coming to support either your club or your player, then you will make the journey, and you will put that level of support into, you know, the player that you're coming to see.
Christine then starting with some early progression, opening up a 4-shot lead. Pauline, no, claiming a shot in the last end, so this is the 5th end, and again Pauline looking to go that little bit wider, but she was short, Christine, just that little bit longer.
Tactical change as well here, Stuart. You'll note that Pauline has pulled that mat up the green a bit. Probably just an attempt to find her own line and length, but equally, you know, to try and shake Christine off a bit. So while she's dropped the first one short, she's put a good recovery ball there with her second. Which is a good reply.
Just resting on the edge of Pauline's second shot then. Another smooth execution.
It's a really good position. The weight that she played there was really excellent for the type of shot she was trying to play, just a fraction wide. I'm sure she'll make that correction with her next one. It should come back all the way. That can't look good. Pauline may change and try and sit the ball out in the backhand. Bigger swing this side. Close to the blue one. Just didn't have the running.
Christine, another long hard look before playing the shot.
But caution applied there. But another single and she moves on.
Christine then with a 5-1 lead. She'll be relatively content as we go into the 6th end with the lead of 5-1. Nothing spectacular, but it's just been steady progress.
I think both players have started reasonably well. I think, as I said, Christine's, you know, first and second balls have just been better at this stage.
Christine back in the position where she can dictate the length of the jack. Christine playing with a Taylor Ace size 2. And Pauline's Aero Groove size 2 heavy. A particular choice.
can see the difference in the two bowls there and the different lines that they're having to take. Christine much wider. Pauline will be a bit disappointed with that, having played such a good first bowl.
Yes.
And she's got, she's got room there definitely to add another.
Yeah, this perhaps opens up the opportunity then for Christine.
Caught again. Interesting to see what Christine plays here. There is an opportunity to play with a bit of weight down that backhand and try and slice the red one out. Certainly not the result she wanted.
No.
Maybe two. Roger Black, the marker, will maybe give us an indication. Or maybe not.
Giving nothing away there. Pauline heads back with one to play in this sixth end.
Choice of shots, really. She either plays the open side down the ditch side, her forehand, or she tries to weave a path between the blue balls on the other side. Sticking with a favoured hand in this direction.
And all the way back, decision making time. Unless she was absolutely clinical in her decision, having been down at the jack, at the head, and walked back knowing exactly what she was going to do.
Yeah, your decision should really be made before you leave the head. If you get to the mat and you're still not decided, then the chances are you're going to play a nothing shot. Umpire called.
Well, Pauline with, I think it was the second delivery there, was able to ensure at least she was going to add to her shots for the day. So the umpire, first time we've seen him with the measuring tape on his knees.
That'll be his knees wet for the day, I would suggest.
Yes. One of a number of measuring appliances that can be used depending on the positioning of the balls, of course.
Looks like 2 to Pauline, I think.
Well, it just changes the complexion of the tie just ever so slightly. And Pauline again with the mat, now trailing by 5 to 3, can again determine the length of the jack. And you see in the background there's plenty of activity on this second day of the National Championships in Ayr. But our focus is on rink 1 and this over 55s singles first round tie between Pauline Wilson of Willowbank and Christine Tennant of New Abbey. Seventh end.
better weighted first shot from Pauline. She's just missed the line there, just by a fraction. And Christine steps in, still room.
Neatly judged there from Christine, having watched on as Pauline now delivers for a second time in the seventh end.
Very close here.
Yeah.
Well played. But unlucky there. Ball fell out. Just gives Christine a shoulder to stop on. She can afford to be length on this. Either turn her own or sit the red one away.
Yeah,
Her line's great.
Unfortunate topple, but what can Christine do now?
Yeah, chance missed. Pauline can shore this up here. Just if she plays the same ball, drop off the red one. That'll make it very difficult for Christine to get in. Slightly fortunate, but the shoulder's still there for Christine. Doesn't change her shot. Same ball with 2 feet to a yard of running.
Just swinging the wrong side of her two previous shots.
Yeah, it's a weight that's more the problem there. The marker indicates 1 to red.
Pauline then, who was really introduced to lawn bowls at the age of 18 and has been associated with the clubs in Wales as well as the Scottish borders. Melrose really playing a part in her introduction to the game as a teenager.
This is a nice chance for Christine. Playing down through the pocket between the red and the blue ball in the front, and set any one of the two balls for the shot. If she does get dragged on the tight side, then ball onto ball contact in the front will deliver a similar result.
Yeah, Christine's come a long way since being introduced to the sport herself, very much as a social one. If she doesn't like that shot, you could tell by her facial reaction that she was unhappy. It was not what she had in mind.
Yeah, just tugged it under the line, didn't she? But a good head of balls all the same. Both players playing well.
And they'll be that bit more used to the rink and the conditions by now, as we've played close on half an hour this Sunday morning.
Yeah, they've both settled very well, haven't they? So 1 to Pauline, closes the gap to 5-4.
And neither player will be phased by the early scoring. In terms of Christine opening up an early lead, Pauline working her way back very much into a contest she was never out of when it was 4 shots to 0. But
no, they're both very experienced players. They'll know they're in this for the long game. They'll know they have to play well, which is always a good thing when you know the player and you know you have to play well. As I said, both previous winners in disciplines here. In fact, Christine is the current holder of the mixed pairs title with her partner from New Abbey, Keith Shuttleworth, who is actually playing on rink 2. in the over 55 gents singles.
Christine there just glancing across, possibly in the direction of Keith, who, as you say, a very familiar face, but her focus very much on her own game at the moment. As we mentioned before, started out very much, I think, as a social pastime for her, but very quickly got the bug, and taking part in competitions down the years has enjoyed a great deal of success as a singles player and in the pairs, mixed pairs competitions. Pauline again favouring the backhand. Christine some way short with her second, as Pauline once more moves in line with her ball, just to judge how close that will be to the jack, and I would imagine she'll be satisfied with her third shot in this eighth end.
She'll be happy with that. There's a slight change in length here, which has stretched the length of the jack just a little. And at the minute, it seems to have thrown Christine off. So a chance to add another. Slightly wider this time, but it may drop. If it drops inside the back blue one, just carrying too much weight.
Again for Christine, just swings round a little too deep on that occasion.
The camera angle's very deceiving there. I don't know if that's cut the front one out or not. Marker had previously indicated 2.
So Paul leads,
Yeah, 2
6-5. 2 for Pauline. The first time that Pauline of Willowbank has been in front in this ladies over 55s singles tie. Again, just dragging the mat that little bit further forward. Pauline providing just a little further instruction to the market. Ninth end, and I think we anticipated a relatively close match between the players, and so it's proved so far, with Christine opening well, leading at one stage by 4-0. Pauline now a shot in front, 6-5. Christine and Pauline almost playing identical lines there.
Nice chance for Pauline just to arrive at this. Punch the blue one through. Just overplayed the line, I think. Looks quite good for what she was looking for. I'm sure Christine will want to tuck this jack round the corner.
Going for much more width on this occasion.
Yeah, that's an error.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that. Never showing signs of coming around. It's not your picture postcard Scottish July summer's day, that's for sure.
No, but it is normal.
Yes. We talked earlier about as far back as the Commonwealth Games of 1986 in Edinburgh and at Ball Green, and I seem to remember that weather conditions appeared something similar to this every single day of competition. It was not the finest July that Scotland or Edinburgh has enjoyed weather-wise.
Yeah, it's such a shame when that happens, but anyway, chance gone a begging, I think, there for Pauline to play that through. Christine will be keen to add another. Take control of the jack again. Much better line. This is about pace. Not so sure she's pushed through it.
Yeah, it just comes up short.
And short ball's just creeping into Christine's game, certainly coming in this direction. The green, this rink can sometimes play a slightly different pace in both directions, and often more so in that the wind or any breeze would be in the face, playing in this direction, which will alter the pace just a little.
Christine then handed the jack. Played almost 40 minutes of the first of 3 matches we'll be covering during the course of Sunday. Just after midday we'll be watching Robert Grant of Overton and Waterloo, and he takes on Jim Byron of Cooper.
Bit of movement on the back of the rink there.
Yeah,
it's the right thing to do. Pause, reset, get back into your pre-delivery routine.
You might just hear from the microphones just in the background a few spectators being asked to stand still. Pauline quite rightly just backing away. She comes forward onto the mat once more. So all square. A shot apiece in this 10th end.
Well, that clearly didn't put Pauline off too much, did it? Super opening ball.
Oh, she'll be delighted with that, just taking her time. after that brief interruption.
Now, how good's your memory, Pauline?
So we're looking for the same again, clearly.
Same line.
Perhaps just not quite enough follow through on this occasion, but she just stands behind Christine and watches her opponent. So the tie perfectly poised at this 10th end, nothing between them.
It's an effort. Well played.
A perfect line and pace there from Christine. That's bound to lift her confidence. Perhaps played one or two slightly wayward shots in the previous end.
She's been unlucky there. Christine's got an opportunity here. She plays broadly the same bowl underneath the front red one and sits the jack high red one just to the left of the picture. On the wide line. Yeah, she won't be unhappy with that. It doesn't leave Pauline with very much at all. She does have an attacking shot, but she's got nothing behind the head. She could make that an awful lot worse. She may elect to play just down the other side under the front red one. But really can't afford to play this with too much weight at all. Just cries out danger in every direction.
Pauline then heads back to the mat. In close matches like this, it's all about marginal gains.
Yeah, you can see Pauline, she is switching, which looks like the right shot to play, but you know, it's a hand she hasn't played, and it's also a weight she hasn't played. That'll swing away. Another good head of balls from both ladies, though.
Yeah, you feel that it was a slightly risky option there for Pauline on that occasion. If it wasn't going to come off, it, as we did see, just drifted away. But 2 to Christine, so she retakes the lead. Well, as we mentioned, just marginal gains, just steady she goes. 11th end, and Christine from New Abbey then leads by 8 to 6.
Maintaining a very similar length coming down this direction. Nobody's switching it up too much.
Yeah, no problem.
Both players continuing to elect to wear the waterproofs. And both opening with the forehand shot.
Nicely played.
Yeah, tucking that just in behind the jack.
Christine forced into a change. Her own ball really causing her the biggest problem.
Push your feet in that side foot.
Right, so that.
Chance for Pauline to apply a bit of pressure here. She just needs to clear that front ball for another shot. She has.
Marker clutching the red lollipop sticks, making them visible to the players. Christine now.
She's picked a better line. This is about push. Again, falling short in this direction. It's a chance for a full house.
Yeah, final shot then for Pauline in this 11th end.
She's not on the front one, so provided her weight's good, this is a full house of 4.
Either way, an excellent end for Pauline.
Yeah, Christine will be disappointed. She's actually been playing quite well in this direction, but as we said the previous time, she's dropped an awful lot of balls short, and that first ball finishing a yard short, almost in the line, killed her opportunity and forced her onto a hand that she hadn't played, and meanwhile Pauline slots another 3 round it. So yeah, a good end from Pauline, but Christine will be pretty disappointed with that.
And Pauline really taking full advantage there, with taking the 4 shots and going from 8-6 down to lead 10-8. Colin opening with a backhand and smashing start then to the 12th end.
Good reply incoming. Yeah, that's a great effort.
Yeah, to make any contact on Pauline's opening ball. Christine will be pleased with that.
It's just changed the angles in the head as well. I think the way it was lying before, it was going to be very difficult for Christine to draw around it and get the shot, but she's opened it up and gave herself a chance. Doesn't change Christine's shot at all. Stop on either one, move the jack. Just gave it a chance. Very unlucky.
So Pauline, after a full house in the previous end, holding 2 at the moment.
Yeah, she's picked another good line.
The last 4 deliveries have all clipped a opponent's ball on the green.
Nicely played here. Yeah, very well done.
And sitting very nicely as well. Just chalk comes out.
Yeah, chance for Pauline. Set the ball out. Well, it dropped. Just the weight carrying it through.
Christine electing not to go down to the head and staying by the mat to play this final shot.
Good weight, we'll draw another. Doesn't want the jack. Ooh. Yeah, she's just held on to it. One to blue.
So keeps things very interesting as Christine is able to take one back there. So Pauline leading by 10-9.
Yeah, I'm sure Christine would have been a bit nervous as that one was coming up, knowing that she was going to make contact with the jack and that the back position wasn't wholly in her favour. But yep, takes the shot back to her length. Also electing to take the mat just a little bit up the green, and we'll see whether she elects to go any longer here.
And there is the scorecard thus far as we begin the 13th end. You see Christine opening up a healthy advantage after 5 ends, leading 5-1. But Pauline now just holding the advantage of one shot, 10-9. If the scoring continues this way, psychology, I guess, becomes a factor in both players and how they approach the latter stages of the match.
Yeah, we're not really seeing anybody dictate in a certain direction. You know, sometimes you get that in games where, you know, one player will score in one direction and one in the other. We're not quite seeing that happen. So it shouldn't be in their head too much at the minute. I think, in fairness, both players are playing quite well here. The odd slack end now and again will be what wins or loses this contest.
How much time do the players spend concerning themselves with the forecast? You know, I mean, they arrived here today as Pauline starts the 13th end with a shot just in front of the jack. How much time do they spend sort of looking at the forecast and trying to determine what the conditions will be like during the course of the time will be on the green?
I really don't think many, if any, actually will concern themselves with it. You know, it's
Take it as it comes.
It's one of those things. You live in Scotland, and it's a consequence of where you stay. They will prepare for all conditions. Some, of course, will not particularly favour playing in the rain, but generally, players who are reaching this level and reaching this stage of national championships won't really care. They'll be focused on the game in hand and I guess the chance to win a national title at some point during the week.
And of course, these players, as we mentioned before, are seasoned campaigners at this level. Many appearances at the national championships, Pauline having represented Wales and Scotland at the Commonwealth Games, but they both will have beaten very good players en route to make these finals in here.
Yeah, of course. So they know what's required. They've covered the territory before. They'll know that playing well obviously is critical to making it through not only the preliminary stages that they've already encountered, but certainly once you get here, you know you're going to be playing against quality opposition. But you also know that in the course of this, you're going to need a little bit of luck to carry you through now and again. And whilst none of us particularly play for luck, it is a factor in the game, and you have to deal with it both positively and negatively.
Yeah, that very much plays its part in luck, that is, in pretty much every sport.
Yeah.
Then there's factors out with your control.
Yeah, you can only control what you do. Interesting to see what Pauline chooses to do with this ball. There are a number of options open to her, mostly down the ditch side. She's 2 down as it sits, so It would do her no harm to play down that ditch side. Either sit the blue one in the front or trail the jack. If she slices the jack, I don't think she can be any worse than 2 down. So I think the percentage play is down the ditch side. And there's commentator's curse. So she's playing the forehand side.
Just watching her stance there, yeah, straight away going down the forehand. Has that been the right call?
Yeah, she has a chance there. It's less of a chance. I think what we said about luck, that was more fortune than I would doubt whether Pauline played that. She may have.
Gathering the mat from just inside the ditch there. Placing it down, trying to keep everything as dry as possible. So there is confirmation of the one shot to Pauline, extending then our advantage. 11-9 in front. 14th end. Busy week, of course, in air, and be live coverage each and every day through to Saturday, including the gents and ladies singles final on Saturday. With plenty action covered on this YouTube channel and Facebook page. Coverage of singles, mixed pairs, and a bit later on, after the gents singles match we are covering, we'll have a youths semi-final pairs match. An excellent start there from Christine to this 14th end. Pauline having gone very long with her first bowl.
It's a nice correction. She obviously just overplayed that first one.
Yeah, neatly judged there from Pauline.
Christine might like to see this one just go beyond the jack. Yeah, very well played.
Pauline just holding that delivery position, but once again, very similar to her opening shot, just goes out the picture.
Yeah, she's electing to attack that. Christine will spot that danger and she'll go deep, I would think, here. Although that hand it's probably a heavier side, so she's nowhere near as deep down the rink as she would have liked to have been.
Pauline then makes her way down to the head just to get a closer examination of the current lie-in situation.
She has a choice to make. She can either attack it again and hope that the jack springs to the back of the rink, or the danger really is that she takes her own red ball out the head. She's just electing to take her medicine here, not wanting to risk losing a 4, but Christine has an opportunity. If she can arrive on that and just crack an egg, she'll make 3. Got to be up though.
Just swinging around too early.
The marker indicated 1 and a measure.
Yeah, had another long look over the respective bowls.
Let's see if the players agree. Colin not even looking at it.
One ball.
So one back then. Christine gathers the mat. Is now one behind. 11-10. 15th end. Moments to deliberate with Jack in hand. The match has reached the hour mark. Getting a fairly consistent length from Christine.
They're not really switching it up at the minute, and in fairness, both players are playing quite well to it. So, you know, yes, tactically you could change it up, but that might throw yourself off rather than the opponent. So they've just kept it fairly consistent throughout. Better opener from Christine coming this way. She has played a lot of short balls, which has put her in a little bit of trouble. Pauline picking it up, I think. Well played.
Very nice line there from Pauline.
So positive draw down that forehand side from Christine. Set the ball. Very close.
Yeah, opting for just that little bit more width.
Played it well. Christine's chance to apply a little bit of pressure. Should drop, but will it drop enough?
Pauline now just comes onto the mat, having had a good long look. Continues to sort of weigh up the options. Down the forehand again, and once more a very nice line from Pauline.
Very lucky, couldn't have played that much different to be honest. Any contact through there would have given her the shot.
So Christine following her last shot all the way down.
Sure whether she's made another shot there or not. Marker's still holding 2 lollipops behind his back.
Higher.
So this then the final shot of the 15th end. Pauline with the 11-10 lead. Could the lead change hands in the next few moments?
She runs, she's drew it. Umpire called to measure the third shot.
Little padded knee protection. If anything, that will keep the tracksuit bottoms a little drier today.
A sensible move given today's weather, I would suggest.
This is when you want a very steady hand.
Quite see whether that was touching the blue ball or not, but whichever one the umpire rolls away is the shot. So it's 2 shots to Christine Tennant from New Abbey, who retakes the lead at 12 shots to 11.
So couldn't really be any closer going into the 16th end. National Centre of Bowling in Ayr is the venue for day 2 of the Scottish Championships. Men's singles match to follow as our live coverage will continue throughout the day and indeed throughout the week to the respective singles finals, which will be played on Saturday as we of course encroach into August.
Christine's just stretched the jack length a little here, so this is a fundamental and tactical change. A good line.
So both players electing for the backhand to open in this 16th end.
Two great opening bowls. Good line again. Good weight.
Another shot then right on the money. But at the moment, Pauline just holding the one.
Pauline, I think, will be happy if she can get a yard to 2 feet behind the jack here, go into a receiving position. just on the wide side. The weight was good for what she was trying to play. She's trying to play the blue one onto the red. Play it away for 2. Pauline needs to be cautious here. Played it well.
Almost an identical line in each of her 3 shots in the 16th end for Pauline.
Yeah, I was about to say I'd be surprised if both ladies don't go and have a little look at this and see what the angles and the chances and maybe even the consequences are from playing up to this. I think you'll see Christine play much the same. If she can arrive onto the blue ball just at the top of the picture to the right of the jack, if she can arrive on that, she's got every chance of making the shot. Her only danger, if you like, is being slightly on the narrow side and turning the blue one onto the jack, and the jack goes in behind the 3 red balls.
Christine then holding a 1-shot lead.
Needs to be good weight on that side.
Pauline watching it all the way in.
Well, if she still holds, I will be shocked if Pauline plays her last ball here. I don't think she can do much with it.
Declared. Okay.
Yeah, declared. So both players just brief conversation over the respective bowls. The marker with the red lolly stick, and Pauline brings the match back all square.
Yeah, it's nice to see that the standard of play, is high. We did expect this, and I really hope we didn't set them up for a fall. But I think the rink is very, very playable, and both players able to show their respective skills. And no shock that 2 quality players are tied at 12, and I don't think anyone would be shocked if this goes all the way. I will be surprised if that jack is a legal length. It's not,
Yes.
so back it goes.
So this then gives Christine the opportunity, immediately moving the mat, the position of the mat, moving it forward a bit, and then she can determine the length of the jack.
Back to the favoured, or just beyond maybe the favoured length.
Of course, this centre a hive of activity over the course of the week with all the competition, but plenty of catering. See a nice green van in the background, and as well opportunities for the spectators to enjoy some fantastic bowls over the next 7 days. This day 2 of 8.
I thought Pauline bounced that out of hand just a little bit. It wasn't as smooth. I don't think that's in Christine's way though.
So after 2, remains 1 to Pauline. About to deliver the third shot.
Yeah, great ball.
Sits just nicely behind the jack. So 2 now to Pauline. Christine with her penultimate shot of this 17th end, and just goes beyond her 2 previous plays, just sitting deeper behind the jack now.
And this is where it gets quite difficult, because the play for Christine is actually on the other side, but again she would have to move to a side that she's not played, and therefore it's a little bit of a lottery in terms of line and length. You can see the shot on the backhand of the ditch side as we look is to stop on either of the almost jack high balls.
Christine aware that Pauline is sitting with 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to change it. We have sneaked in for third.
Marker is now 2 red lollipops clasped behind his back in his right hand.
Three conceded.
So Pauline opens up a 15-12 lead, having earlier recorded a full house, which changed the complexion of the tie just ever so slightly earlier on, but it has remained, really since the very early stages, a very closely fought contest. 18th end, and Pauline was short, very short with her previous jack delivery, so much so that it handed Christine the advantage.
Yeah, she's quite short here again, but I don't know if there's a question on length. No.
Pauline, a medalist in the pairs in Birmingham in 2022 with Scotland.
Really settling in here. It's an important part of the game. Colin can score here, then she'll start to smell victory. Christine's having none of it.
Yeah, that was a really important opening shot there for Christine. Try and wrestle back some advantage early on in this 18th end.
I think having dictated the jack length at the previous end, that would be disappointing for Christine to have lost a 3. You can see the quality of the play here. It's very high. It's the marker throwing his money away, I think.
Proves that some people still carry cash. Just coming up short with the third ball there, Pauline.
I doubt that was deliberate, but if you look at where it's finished, it's made it incredibly difficult for Christine to get in.
A lot of traffic for her to negotiate.
What an effort this is. What a tremendous effort. Well played.
That's one of those, when the chips are down, you've got to really deliver. Trailing 15-12. Now And she comes to examine the situation from up close, just at the head.
I thought I saw the marker indicate 2 with his fingers there, but he's not held any lollipops up yet, has he?
No, they're all behind his back. I thought there was perhaps one resting in between his fingers, but
Going for another look.
I think it goes without saying that Christine, we were expecting her to remain down by the jack, watching on, given what is at stake.
I'm not even sure that delivery tells us anything. You'd have thought if Pauline hadn't been holding shot there, she would have attacked that. Christine has some nice play, because I think any contact on the head here, Stuart, will see the red one removed, or see the jack move towards the back of the ring where Christine has a receiving bowl.
This is when she'll call upon her experience. So once more electing for the backhand. What about the pace and line?
She's just quick, I think. Wow. So this will be something we don't see very often, and an umpire's measure using feeler gauges.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier on when one of the measuring devices was out that there are several that an umpire can use depending on the circumstances. There's his bag, and you'd almost think he was going to carry out a medical procedure.
So what they're doing here is they can put white strips under between the bowl and the jack, and you can see he's, I don't know if I've seen this before, but he's using a magnifying glass to try and see if there's a gap between the two bowls. So the fact that he's lifted the jack there suggests that that both bowls, both the red one and the blue one, were touching the jack, and that is a no shot. Not something you see terribly often.
But in some respects, some of the finest play by both players so far this Sunday morning. Just on 11 o'clock. So Pauline 15-12, 19th end. Yes, a judge will have, is it 3-4 separate measuring devices depending on the positioning of the jack to the bowls?
Yeah, an umpire. He will have numerous. So he'll have a string measure. He'll have calipers, feeler gauges. You saw the white strips there, and generally a longer string as well. For perhaps when a jack is in the ditch. So yeah, numerous measuring devices available to our team of umpires.
Christine then a forehand, playing her second shot in this 19th end. 15-12, just 5 minutes shy of an hour and a half's play. Christine holding one at the moment. A glimpse of play from behind the players there, as Pauline some way short with her third shot, her penultimate one of this 19th end. Christine now holding two, so looking to wrestle back at least a couple. Both players again making their way down. Getting to a significant stage in this match. Christine hoping to chip away at Pauline's lead of 3. So what does Pauline elect to do here as she makes her way back to the mat? And those towels have been worked hard during the course of the match so far, given the conditions. A damp Sunday morning in Ayr. Christine then holding 2.
I don't think she's reaching. What an opportunity for Christine to level this game.
And it would be very much in keeping with the match so far if she was to bring it back all square.
Yeah, it certainly would. As we said earlier, we wouldn't be shocked if this one went all the way. This is down to weight. It will drop. Just needs to run. Chance perhaps going a begging.
Pauline first have a good look.
The marker has 2 lollipops. Pauline's maybe not sure. Shouts for an umpire. So just while that's happening, let's run through a few of the scores from around the greens. So we've got gents over 55s, 4s in play, and Buccleuch currently leads Sighthill by 8 shots to 3. Leslie lead Abbotsford by 10 shots to 2. Bishop Briggs trail Hillside 4-6. Blackland Mill are 5-9 behind against Seafield from Aberdeen. Calderbank lead Irvine Park 13-1, and St Vincent trail Ayr Craigie by 3 shots to 8. There's also some ladies over 55 4s in play. We've got Greenfalls leading Kilmacombe 7-2. Cumnock lead Headwell 9-1. Bankfoot leads Summerside 6-3. St Andrews and Collington are tied at 6 apiece. Shaws lead Balgownie 8-0. And Kilwinning trail Shotts Ironworks 1-5.
An illustration of just how much activity, how many matches are ongoing around this National Centre of Bowling in Ayr, as Christine has been able to chip away at Pauline's lead. It's down to 1 once again, 15-14.
Yeah, and a stretch in length. So just while these opening bowls come in, I'll give you the rest of the ladies over 55 4s scores. So Churnside lead Fraserburgh West End 9-3. Colgrain lead Denny 5-4. Calderbank are currently winning 11-0 against Kinneil. Alloa trail Willowbank 0-14. West End trail Les Mahigo 3-8. And Gorebridge lead Maxwell Town 4-2.
Had an eye out on the Churnside performance today. Of course, that's down near my neck of the woods. And Bruce Miller, who you'll hear from on Wednesday, he'll be alongside Colin, providing coverage on Wednesday. Once we're just at that sort of midway point in competition, just past it. So the match just over an hour and a half in length. Pauline just the advantage of one shot, 15-14 in front.
Pauline's just lost her way with her last 4, 5, 6 bowls, pulling up very, very short. Christine will want to capitalise on that.
Yeah, neither player has really been a dominant figure in the game for any great length of time.
No, and they've both been playing to a very high standard. Here's another chance. Pauline's just taking her foot off the gas a little here.
Christine then weighing up the opportunity to nudge herself back in front. Gathers a blue ball, the last of this 20th end for Christine. Electing to use the backhand to sit the ball just behind the jack. And we're at this stage in the match where there's an increased amount of walking for both players, because they will work their way up and down the rink, knowing the importance of each shot and each end. As Christine holding 3 at the moment.
Pauline's objective with this ball will be to get second shot. First is very much a bonus, but she will not want to drop a 3 at this stage. Line's good.
Looking for the umpire again to come forward.
Camera angles can be very deceiving.
Umpire's becoming increasingly busy over the last few minutes. Such is the importance now in the tie.
So maybe just while that's going on, there are a few youth triples in play, and I've got scores from 2. And bear with me because there's a number of combinations here. So there is a combination of a triple from Keith, Mintlaw and Rose Harty, playing against a triple from Shettleston, Springburn and Baillieston, and this is the youth triples. And the Keith, Mintlaw and Rose Harty triple lead 9-7 after 6 ends. And we have another combination of Socky and Alloa East End playing against Chirnside, Tweedmouth and St Boswells, and the Socky Alloa combination lead 5-3. One ladies over 55 singles, which is concluded, and Sandhead were victorious by 21 shots to 4 over Irvine Wint.
So Christine, with mat in hand, now leads 16-15. So I'd imagine there'll be a few, maybe with nerves jangling at both Willowbank and New Abbey, watching this live stream on YouTube and on Facebook. Christine again just adjusting the length ever so slightly. All the spectators you can see in the background wrapped up well, and waterproofs at hand as well on this cooler Sunday morning on the west coast of Scotland. And Christine opens with a fine shot. She'll be pleased with her opening. Pauline dispensing with the waterproofs now for the time being at least.
This is a good line again from Christine. Her weight looks quite good too. And again, Pauline's dropped one up the rink, which will start to cause her problems as she attempts to attack here. She may have navigated it well. She has.
So Christine holds one just at the moment. Both players again electing for the forehand shot. This Christine's penultimate of the 21st end. Beginning to swing around now.
It's quite pronounced in this direction, the different lines of the two balls, isn't it? You can see Pauline holding a much narrower line to the jack.
Yeah, just as Colin illustrated
She's
there.
going to be unlucky here. Fortunate. Inside edge would have served her well.
Yeah, both players really illustrating your point, Colin. It's Christine now with her.
If the weight's good, she's very near. Marker in for a look, indicates 2. Again, you can see that short ball of Pauline's probably in the way, I think, for to play. She has a chance on the other side. Again, she'll be guessing a little at the line and the weight, having not played it.
Back she goes then. So electing for the backhand to go down the ditch side.
I don't think she's pushed this.
And that's easing up far too early for her.
It just illustrates the point, though, you know, having not played a side of the rink for the whole game, then you are very much guessing at line and length, because they will play at slightly different speeds.
So Christine, who early on held an initiative 4-0 and 5-1, is now nudging in front at a significant time in the contest.
And importantly, Stuart, she's in touching distance now. You know, you can win this tie now in one end. Pauline will be very aware of that.
And how Pauline would love to emulate her success earlier on in the tie, where she managed the full house. At that stage, turning the table, she was 2 behind, then nudged 2 in front.
Marker just trying to manage the spectators there to stop them walking across the back of the rink. Christine stretched the length here, but it's a decent opener at this length. Maybe conscious of the fact that Pauline's been struggling to get them up the last few ends, so maybe a slightly longer length may give her a match-winning advantage.
Yeah, Pauline's opener just coming up short of Christine's first shot of this 21st end.
One game for you, Gord. One game for you. How you been shooting anyway?
Very well delivered backhand shot there from Christine.
I broke my ankle in April there, and she stopped giving me grip. That's how I'm lumping up down there.
Great try. Can Christine repeat the previous delivery?
Pauline certainly putting out a lot more pace on that latest shot there. It's a little different line, but a little bit too wide and deep.
She's very well played. Excellent stuff. Sure if this is 1 or 2.
Pauline certainly won't want to inflict any further potential damage on the scoreboard. But
She also has to be cautious. Sure, that if she elects to attack this in any way and she lifts her own out the head, then you know they'll be shaking hands.
Yeah, can't take the caution to the wind approach.
No, it's down to 1 now.
And again, we mentioned marginal gains earlier on in such a closely fought contest. That's another shot then to Christine, back to a 4-shot advantage for the new Abbey player, and again that allows her to determine the positioning of the mat and the length of the jack, and now requiring just 2 to win this over 55 singles first round tie. But later on we'll have coverage of Robert Grant against Jim Byron. Robert Grant of Overton and Waterloo against Jim Byron of Cooper, and then a youth pairs semi-final concludes the coverage a little bit later on this afternoon. Both players then with the forehand openers.
Just overplayed here. Yeah, just running through.
Pauline holding one down just at the moment. Christine's last one shot of the 21st end. Signs of frustration there as they got a glimpse of a reaction to that latest delivery.
Yeah, she knows that if she'd had, a couple of feet of running on that, she was maybe either holding for the jack to make the game or sitting the red one for shot. Throwing up shots with this. This is a chance. This is a match-winning chance.
Christine once more trusting her forehand.
She's overplayed it, I think.
Yeah.
So first chance to win the game gone for Christine. Pauline will want to be cautious here. The markers indicated one to red. Christine having a close look at it though.
Pauline just at the top of the picture there was here, back now by the mat, gathering the towel, other wipe of the bowl with the towel, comes forward to the mat. This then perhaps an opportunity for Pauline.
Very close, doesn't want the inside edge of that jack.
Marker with arms and hands behind his back. On comes the judge once more. Becoming an increasingly busy member of staff over the last half an hour or so.
This looks very close. One blue.
So Christine with the mat down once more.
Is there a way there?
Christine one away then. 2015, and the new Abbey player playing with, as we mentioned before, with thoughts of this being the club's 50th anniversary. I should like a extended run in this competition.
Six ends and horses.
This seems to be sort of one bowling with Pauline's like 2 feet short. That's what's making the stages.
Most players then opening with the backhand away from that ditch side. Pauline's line just going to cut in between the jack and Christine's opener.
This is a good line. Just overplayed.
Pauline clearly wants to give nothing away now.
Yeah, this is one of 3 bowls she has left to stay in this championship.
So very similar line, Pauline's second shot, but holding up just in front of Christine's opener.
As she sent it.
Pauline very consistent with her line in this particular end. It's just the weight that's adjusted each time.
So Christine has room to draw. She's drawing for game. Is she wide enough?
So what will be going through Pauline's mind as she heads back to the mat then to deliver this final shot of the 21st end?
She'll she needs to be confident and try and draw another. You know, if she can put a 2 on the board, then you know she's also within one end of winning this match.
So releases the backhand. Forward it comes.
She's just not making it. So she moves on to 16.
One makes it.
Pauline with jack in hand now again, just to get this next end underway. Christine still requiring one. Christine then holding that familiar position as she watches her opening shot head down the rink and just to one side of Pauline's opener, both just shy of the jack.
This is a good one. Yeah, very well played. Short ball now working in her favour, you would suggest.
Just providing some cover. Pauline holds one.
Doesn't want to contact this. Although
It's been remarkably consistent with her line.
this is now difficult for Christine. She must be beyond the jack with this to give herself any chance.
No, some way short of that.
Yeah.
So Pauline now calling on her years of experience as they both players follow Pauline's delivery down the rink. You can see the cloud cover over her head. That's that watercoloured grey and some very dark clouds overhead as well. So it's Christine's turn to make her way back to the mat, aware of what her opponent is positioned to do in this tie.
She's got a difficult shot down here. She probably wants to run through it and see if she can get a contact on the bowl and then run through with the jack. Well, has she dropped a 4? Very risky shot to play.
Judge then comes forward. Pauline's experience coming to the fore. And a vital time in the match. Trailing 2016. Out once more is the measuring tape.
Umpire might need some help with this unless he has very long arms.
How far do these tapes extend, these lines?
Yeah, it depends which type of box measure it is, but I think some of them are maybe 9 feet, some of them are maybe 12 feet. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Yeah, they're not one standardised size, they'll be different sizes. Yeah.
Different makes and models.
As you suspected, here comes the assistance.
So it's quite clearly a 3.
So either player can win it at this next end then. Makes for a tense finish.
Yeah, as we suspected, this one is indeed going all the way.
Pauline then watches the jack make its way down the rink. So there's confirmation that Pauline now just one behind.
Well, when you need one, that is a tremendous opener under pressure.
Yeah, there's almost no better way to get it.
You can see it's forcing Pauline to attack already.
Yeah, very straight execution with her second shot. So it's just at the bottom of her picture now.
But it's in play, it's gone to a good home. If she does get a contact on it, that's where it's going. The worst thing Christine could do here is put one alongside her own and make the target bigger. Yeah, I think she might have just framed that and given her a guide.
Oh, it's all right. There watch the wires.
She might be lucky. Well, I think if Christine could have laid a back bowl in, that's where she would have put it. Christine won't want to be too close here, but she would like to beat that front one.
Which I think she's unable to do, yes, coming up just short. So, Christine now having played 3, Pauline electing to come down with 2 to play. Well, 1 to play, of course, 1's just at the back, so this is the final shot. Beg your pardon.
So 2 chances, maybe even 3 chances. Direct contact on the blue to take it out. Leave her holding 1. She has an opportunity at the pace she played the last time, perhaps to kill the end. Or if she's underneath and manages to clip the jack, she does have a back bowl in play. So this is it. This is the bowl to stay in the championship.
So a lot resting on this then for Pauline. Plenty of pace on that backhand.
Just wide, I think. Great game. Super game, bowls.
Yeah, turned away. Just I think I was aware that the pace was on it, but just not quite the angle. and an excellent way to start a Sunday morning, because we felt these two experienced players could deliver an enthralling contest, and that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, that's exactly. We thought at halfway that it might go to this stage, and then when Pauline pulled away at 15-12, you felt that she might have the upper hand, but then Christine put together a run of 2-2-2-1-1 to hit 20 first, and back Pauline came with a single and then a 3 as a result of an attempted conversion from Christine. But great game from both ladies. Should both be very, very proud of the way they played, and I'm sure if Christine can keep up this form, she will go very deep in this competition.
Christine opening up a 4-shot lead early on. Pauline with that full house, turning the tables then on Christine midway through the contest. But 21-19 the final score, and congratulations to Christine Tennant of New Abbey, has safely negotiated this first round tie, defeating Pauline Wilson of Willowbank by 21 points to 19.
So just before we go off air on this one, I'll just give you a quick roundup of some of the scores if people are interested. So we'll start with the ladies over 55 scores. Greenfalds lead Kilmacombe 14-7 after 14 ends. Cumnock lead Headwell by 18 shots to 3 after 12. Bankfoot lead Summerside 13-9 after 12. St Andrews trail Collington 10-12 after 12 ends. Balgownie lead Pollock Shaws 17-9 again after 12. And Kilwinning lead Shots Ironworks 11 shots to 7 after 13 ends. And on the next green, we have Churnside leading Fraserburgh West End by 15-12 after 14. Denny lead Colgrain 16-8 after 13. Calderbank lead Kinneil 15-9 after 12. Willowbank lead Alloa 22-6 after 12. Lesmahago lead West End 16-7 after 13 ends. And Gore Bridge lead Maxwell Town 14-6 after 12. A couple of youth triples scores. You can confirm that the Shettleston, Springburn and Baillieston combination defeated Keith Mintlaw and Rose Hartley by 16 shots to 15. And in the other game, the Sochi Alloa East End combination have a commanding 24 shots to 5 lead against Churnside, Tweedmouth and St Boswells.
Thanks very much, Colin. Yeah, just confirmation of what is next going to be shown live on our YouTube channel and on Facebook. 12:30 to 2:30, gents over 55s singles match, Overton and Waterloo against Cooper. That's Robert Grant up against Jim Byron. And a little bit later on, late afternoon, we'll have the youth pairs semi-final. We'll bring you details if we'll be contesting that during our next broadcast. But we're going to take a break now. We'll head away and we'll be back in about 3/4 of an hour for that gents over 55s singles first round tie.